When board games give us more, we're rolling with more. Hi, I'm Will, and with me as always is the one who says what every dragon game needs is certification.
Sarah.
And today we're doing a review of the expansion for Wyrmspan, Dragon Academy. Now, you can tell us about it.
Okay. This expansion is going to add a variety of new dragons, including fledglings. It will also add caves, objective tiles, dragon guilds, and a new round tracker. And it also includes some updated cards for the base game. So let's go more in depth about what each one of these things does. Fledglings. Do you want to talk about fledglings?
So fledglings are a new dragon type. The way they score is different than any other dragon. Basically, they score 1 point for each fledgling you have on your board. So essentially, you square the number of fledglings. So for example, if you have 3, well, each one's worth 3 because you have 3. So 3 times 3 is 9 points.
Yes.
2 times 2 is 4 points.
Correct.
That type of thing.
Yes.
The other feature of a fledgling works similar, but not exactly like a hatchling. When you explore a cave that has a fledgling, you'll come across it with your adventurer, and you'll be able to pay to train it. And that will be marked on the dragon card itself. There'll be a box that you have to pay from left to right. As you pay, you put in cubes. When you get to the end, it will activate its purple ability, which is at the bottom, and that's usually a pretty powerful ability.
Yeah. Some of it could be endgame scoring, but some of it can happen during the game.
Right. There are going to be dragons in the game that could train the fledglings for free, but essentially that's how you actually do the training normally is you reach it and you can train one at a time. So if you need to train it again, you have to explore that cave again.
Exactly. The round tracker now is its own board. It's going to replace the base game board. And as far as we can understand, it's supposed to replace the base game board for the base game, even if you don't play with the fledglings.
Yes, this is now a permanent change.
Right. As far as we understood it, it now has options for what you get when you pass. Because in the base game before, you would get 6 coins and an egg at the end of each round when you pass. Now you're going to take your adventurer, put it on the board in a specific spot that's going to give you
a unique income.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there is a space for 6 coins, but only one person can get that. The other ones are all 5 coins and something.
Now that is for the first and second rounds. The third round has even its own options.
Right, because you get a little bit more in that last change, because from the third to the fourth round, because you don't need anything after the fourth round, the game's over.
Yes.
So it also rearranges some of the information. I think makes a little bit more logical sense to help you go through all the end of round activities.
Yes.
Whereas the other one was a bit more confusing.
Yes. And so that's a replacement. Also talking about replacement, this does come with some errata changed cards, so you're going to have 5 dragons to replace from the base game and 2 cave cards to replace from the base game.
Yep.
You just throw them away.
And everything else in the expansion just pretty much adds more variety. So there's just other dragons and cave cards and so on.
And guilds.
And so yes, now you have more variety on guilds. Okay, so let's see how this changed the 2-player experience. Mainly it's the big issue at the 2-player count. It's a big deck of cards. You're not going to go through them. You just added a whole bunch with this expansion, so you're going to see them even less. So the fledgling mechanic is just really going to be diluted, which is unfortunate since it relies on having other fledglings to score.
Yeah, it's the scoring aspect that's the biggest problem.
Right.
Fortunately, the rest of the mechanism should work just fine.
Well, except when you get dragons that train fledglings and you don't get any fledglings, then that benefit is just not there for you. But again, game of opportunity.
It was always a weak point for any span game.
Yeah.
Where sometimes abilities would be a little too specific and the fledglings kind of fall into that category.
Yeah. So
if you're doing a full true deck shuffle, then yeah, you're probably going to be up a creek in a 2-player game. So what we did do so we could really experience this game is we took the Dragon Academy cards, took half of the base game, shuffled those together and used that as our deck.
Yeah, so
Because there's more than enough cards.
very much more. And we still didn't get through a fraction of... So we had this new deck. So we had half the base game cards set aside. This new deck still came up to be 2 stacks. And we barely went through one of this. I mean, we didn't even get through all that stack. There's just not a lot of card drawing.
Right, or clearing.
Clearing aways. Anyways, that's just the way it is. But that was really the only thing that felt impacted at the 2-player count.
Yeah.
Accessibility, we've got the same problem that the base game has, where there's a priority of the art over the functionality. So the backgrounds come through a lot stronger than they should, so it's hard to read some of the text. I had a lot of trouble with the guild boards, especially at a distance, but after a while there's cubes on it, so you can't really pick it up to read. But the background art would just come through and make it difficult to read words. And I just still don't understand that mentality. But it's across the whole game.
Yeah.
So the only other thing would be mobility, because like in almost all the Span games, your board gets full of a lot of things. You've got cards under cards with eggs on it, and now and tokens from the resources. Now you have training tokens. So it's just going to get a little bit messier, so it's just something to be aware of.
This is kind of something that I expect with a Stonemaier game.
Yeah.
Is they like to really fill up and use the space in front of you. We saw this with Apiary.
That's true.
We saw it with all the other Span games. They like to tuck cards and stack resources on cards and just put things on things and things.
Yeah.
And here's here's training tokens. Here's some more things.
So it's just some slight accessibility challenges, for those with mobility issues, but this may not be a good game if you do have challenges with your hands anyways. So the expansion
At least it's not as tall and vertical as Wyrmspan.
True. I think Wyrmspan...
You couldn't even reach the top of your board.
Yeah, Wyrmspan had its own mobility challenges.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to who this is for. Well, since it's mostly just more of the same, if you like or love Wyrmspan, this is a more type of expansion. So if you're looking for more, here it is. So that...
Yeah, the biggest impacts are going to be the new round board, so that you feel like you have more impact when it comes to passing. Also, having the variety of guild boards is actually a big thing, because they give you dragons and caves all day. You really don't need more of those. They still give you more, but what you don't see a lot of variety of are the guilds and the goals, and that's where you get a lot of that. You get some more of that in here, so that it does feel like a very different game from game to game. Yeah. Whereas all you were expecting from the base is, well, I'm just going to see different dragons. Yeah,
if you play Wyrmspan a lot and you're getting tired of the same goals and, guilds, this will definitely add more variety. So that is a good purchase if you play this game a lot and you want to see more different things?
More different.
Okay, so I think by now you probably got a general sense of what we really like, but the round tracker was the change in having a choice of what you took at the end when you passed.
Yeah.
Really was impactful. There was a couple of points where I was, done. I had no more tokens to put out, but I could not decide which benefit I wanted. So it really does make you stop and think.
Yeah.
What is going to help you the most? And sometimes it's not always that obvious, but sometimes it is. So.
Yeah, because just throwing more actions out of space, was helpful in the base, because each coin is essentially an action.
Yeah.
So 6 coins and 1 egg is a lot of actions, but having that extra variety is like, well, now I don't have to really bother thinking about doing that. Yeah, I'm getting fewer actions, but now I'm more focused.
Right, like what if all you needed was 1 cave card? Well, now you don't have to go through the row that activates to give you cave cards, because you're going to get one from your, the end of the round, so you can just really start by saying, well, now I'm going to put this cave into play.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So it felt good that you could get a jump start on the next round of getting that thing you needed to just get going and running. And then I guess what we still didn't really like is at least for me, I liked it less than Will, or I disliked it more. Maybe that's...
It came to your attention more.
Fledglings, they did not need to add another mechanic. I'm sorry. Or at least, maybe it's, I don't know if it's just the scoring part, or no, it's because the fact that with that training mechanism, there are other dragons that help you train. And I just got stuck with so many dragons that helped me train before I ever got a fledgling. But it's not like I could hold on to the cards. I needed to play dragons to get things going. So I played them down and didn't get that benefit. So for me, I wanted this to be a just more expansion on some aspects, but not actually have a new mechanism that just gets immediately diluted into it. So that's the part I really didn't like.
Yeah, the reason why I wasn't bothered by it is because I felt from the base game, the whole stack of dragons are already broken in the respects of, especially when it comes to a 2-player game, you're just not seeing enough. And adding more, it's diluted more, but I already not seeing enough, so I don't care enough. In fact, the thing that bothered me, but we've managed to make it work, is it's hard to fit the entire expansion into the base game. You can do it.
Yeah.
You have to really work at it, and you're still going to have to like bag some cards because they do give you a card tray that not all the cards fit in. So you have to be creative.
Yeah, I really don't know about this. It's like, oh yeah, we didn't include a card tray in the base game, so let's do it in the expansion. But yet then things still things don't fit. So I don't know. It's weird to me.
Yeah.
But hopefully there will be an insert at some point and or a bigger box, because they'll probably do more expansions. Maybe. I don't know. We're going to wait at this point to find out if they do more expansions before we invest in a insert to get everything to fit the way it is. Yeah. All right. So did your rating change any?
Because you gave it a 5 and I
gave it a 5. Yep. We both did 5s.
Mine did not change.
Yeah, mine didn't either. It didn't. There was parts I liked with the round tracker, parts I didn't like with the fledglings. So it all kind of just balanced out to, I think I'm happy we have the expansion because of just the more variety of goals and the guilds and the round tracker. And the negative is just like, like you said, it's already diluted and hard to get anything working in a 2-player game anyways. So it's still a 5 because I do still, out of all of them, Wyrmspan is still my favorite span game because it's dragons. I like how they broke the caves separate. There's caves, then dragons, which broke the dragon mechanism down. Yeah,
it made the cost more manageable.
So there's still a lot of it where I do like Wyrmspan the best of all of them, but because it is hard to get anything to combo, I don't like that they added fledglings. So there's just no way that this improved it to a 6.
Yeah. Pretty much the same thing for me.
Yeah.
The guilds, the round tracker, also having the cards fixed. Were broken.
Yeah.
That's also nice. But having that many more dragons, it just comes across like styrofoam peanuts. Whereas like
you always have too many of them.
Like, okay, I see where they're helpful, and now I have way too. Why couldn't you just get a smaller box at this point?
Yeah.
Because the thing I'm packing is about this big, and the box is this big, and you filled it up with styrofoam peanuts, so I can't.
Yeah, it makes me feel like somehow I need to curate the deck, but I don't know that I want to put that much effort into curating the deck to be a smaller, more cohesive deck.
Yeah, because there are dragons that, really need this to be here to work, but they did a better job in Wyrmspan than they done in Wingspan.
For less specificity.
Yes.
Specificity?
Specificity? Specificity.
Words are hard.
Words are hard, and we have them all.
So we're still at a 10.
Yes.
This is going to be one of those expansions that if you really like Wyrmspan and you wanted more, get this expansion. But if you really weren't that keen on Wyrmspan, this is not going to change your opinion.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we're at with it.
Yeah, because a lot of people should be perfectly fine.
Yes.
Like, I'm fine with my Wingspan. Fine. Or I'm fine with my Finspan. Okay, fine. You don't need a Wyrmspan. But if you already have a Wyrmspan, like it, and you want a little bit more variety,
yep,
this is your jam and jelly.
Yes.
Which is both Aren't they different, jam and jelly?
Yes, they're
In
made
fact,
differently.
that is my question. Sarah, what is the difference between jam and jelly? Isn't it one more preservy, where it has more fruit?
I'm pretty sure it's the processing.
Ah.
But I don't know enough about it to know the difference, other than, what is it? Jelly is smooth and does not have bits in it, and jam does. So jam is usually more of a preserve, like you said. So it is made very differently.
Now, what do those have to do with training dragons?
I don't know. You brought it up, weirdo.
It's what tempts the dragons to be trained in the first place.
Okay.
And we've been rolling with more. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can reach out to us on the various social media platforms at
Rolling with Two, that's TWO. We're on Blue Sky, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. For Discord, we have a channel on Tabletop Express. Check the show notes for the invite link.
If you have time, check out the other content Nanaman has found for you, because remember, he's rolling with you.